Hey everybody, Ken Krawchuk, Libertarian for Pennsylvania Governor here. Happy silly season. Back here at campaign headquarters after a couple of weeks around different places. Not out on the work trail last week, not out on a cruise ship. Back in our normal haunts again. How was your week? We had our first snowfall on Saturday. I was going to be doing stuff in the backyard. I'm working on putting in a new cellarway door. And then it snowed, which is good because that means I could sit in the kitchen, look out our bay window, and watch the flakes fall. Very nice time. Joshua, welcome. Brandon, there you go. Good to see you guys. So Saturday was a nice hang around the house, honeydew type of day, honeydew this, honeydew that kind of deal. It was nice. It was a good break because we've been running around like mad for months. I mean, we were doing the statewide tours. We got the big vacation. We were out on a Caribbean cruise. We were down in New Orleans partying on Bourbon Street. So it was just nice to be able to just hang out at home. Until, of course, Saturday night, Montgomery County holiday party. That was pretty cool. We had a bunch of people out there who braved the weather. Always a good time. Matter of fact, a lot of the people who are out there watching tonight were there. I got a lot of feedback on how I do these broadcasts. And that's good. We have one guy there, Mike, Toastmaster. He's always giving me good feedback. Toastmasters are great. And I keep threatening I'm going to do a night about Toastmasters, but not going to be tonight. If you tuned in last week, there's some interesting things going down. I had two playing arounds with the court system over the past couple of days. As you know, last week I was talking about how I got my, is this the right one? Yep. My summons for jury duty. And I'm going to sum it up for those of you who may not have caught the last one. They sent it to me. It's got all kinds of embarrassing questions, your work history, where you used to work, how many people in your family, what's their work history, how many kids you got, would you follow the instructions of the judge, which depends what they are. So what I did is I sent this back with a little note saying, I don't understand, because the last thing on the bottom says, I hereby certify that the answers on this form are correct and true. I understand that false answers provided herein subject me to penalties under 18 PACS section 4904. Well, I sent it back because I don't have enough information. I don't know what 4904 says these days. So I got a little note back from the jury people. I'm going to stick them right here. It says, if you need information, give us a call. So I did. I gave them a call. And they said, what don't you understand? And I told them, and they said, 4904, I don't know what that is. So tell you what, we'll give you a call back. And last Thursday, 6 days ago, I got a call from the jury commissioner herself, a Joanne Cisco Olszewski. And she said, what don't you understand? And I mentioned 4904. I don't understand 4904. She said, oh, that's about perjury. I said, what's it say? She said, I don't know. I've never read it either. I said, well, I can't sign this because I don't know this. So she starts yelling at me. Starts saying, jury duty is, you have to come. You can get fined for this. I said, wait, I didn't say anything about coming. I'd love to come. I'd love to serve on a jury. I just wanted to let you know I can't sign this because it says 4904, and I don't know what 4904 means. Then she starts going on again about how they're going to send constables after me and I can be fined $500. And it's like, whoa. She was interrupting me as I'm trying to talk. She was downright rude. I don't know why civil servants can't be civil. Yeah, boy, that would make a good meme, wouldn't it? Civil servants. It's an oxymoron, civil servant. Anyway, she was rude to me. And eventually, she said, tell you what, I'll mail you a copy of 4904. And you can read it for yourself. And I thought, great. And that was last Thursday. And I was waiting. Nothing came in the mail. Nothing came on Saturday. Nothing came on Monday. Nothing came Tuesday. Nothing came today. Nothing at all. So Joanne did not keep her word. She said she was going to send it and did not. Well, it's supposed to be tomorrow, jury duty. I'm supposed to be going on the jury tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Why? Because that way I can practice jury nullification. And that was the big message last week, because you have a power. You are the fourth branch of government. You can oversee what's going on with our court system. So if somebody needs, well, let me back it up. If somebody is being, quote unquote, tried for a victimless crime, no such thing as a victimless crime, you, as the juror, have the right to say, not guilty, even though, according to the statute, they may be guilty as all hell. Jury nullification is the power you have. They used it successfully during the slavery era to not convict people who had helped slaves. They used it during the Prohibition era not to convict people who were making their own beer. Frank says, they're bureaucrats. I don't respect them. Well, I tend to be a mirror when it comes to things like that. If people are rude to me, sometimes I'll wind up being not exactly polite back to them. But jury nullification, looking forward to doing it, because they used it during Prohibition not to convict anybody. I hear they're using it right now in some of the pot growing states. They're not convicting marijuana growers, marijuana users. They get caught. You should do the same thing. You should try to get on a jury. So I was really, really excited. I thought, well, she's not sending it to me. She's forgotten about me. I'm going to get on it. So they give you a number. That's at the top. It says, you must call. All capital letters. I don't know why they're so rude. You must call this number after 4 p.m. the day before your appearance. That would be today. So I called a little while ago, and guess what they said? You guessed it. You are excused from any jury service tomorrow. You do not have to come in. It's like, damn it! Damn it! Oh, Pat, you lost the signal. There's a signal. Hello. Looks like it's good on our side.
Yeah, I'm good over here.
Yep, we got our technical team over there monitoring things, which is better than we've done in the past, right? No, we're looking good. It's probably on your end. So I don't get to go to jury duty tomorrow. I'm disappointed because, as I said, I was looking forward to it. I have never gotten on a jury. There's always something like that that comes up. There was once I actually made it all the way in, and they brought me in and they started asking questions, and I gave them honest answers. Of course you got to give them an honest answer. Okay? Did you follow the judge's instructions? Well, it depends. Depends whether or not he says I have the right to jury nullification and to try the law as well as the facts. But he doesn't say that. And last week, my buddy at work, Mike, he was on a jury, and I asked him if the judge told him that. He said, no, the judge didn't tell you that. Of course not. That's because they don't want you to know you have the power to nullify laws. You and I, we are the fourth branch of government, so we should get on juries. But 'twas not to be. So tomorrow, I've got my day back, got my time back. I was thinking of going in anyway, but they'd probably throw me in jail. I don't know. I caused enough trouble there. But there was more trouble because, I guess, when was it? I don't know, several weeks ago, I received a ticket for what the officer said I rolled a stop sign. I don't think I did. In fact, there was a traffic jam, and I was sitting at the stop sign, and there's a guy in front of me who was in the middle of the intersection because everybody's trying to get in, so all kinds of jammed up traffic. So I had no choice but to stop. And then I moved into the intersection. Next thing you know, he's got his lights on. He pulls me over. He says, you know why I'm pulling you over? And you know, when they say that, the impetus is great to say, what am I, clairvoyant? Let me guess, you're lonely. Oh, wait, you like my boyish smile. You can't say that to a cop. Cops have no sense of humor at all, sometimes. But as it turned out, this cop was a pretty nice guy as far as cops go. He was actually friendly, he was polite, and I like to see that in any kind of a civil servant. He was being civil. But he went and gave me a ticket for rolling a stop sign that I didn't roll. Now, I learned several things in the process of pursuing this. It's always a good education. Anytime you get a ticket or any kind of a brush with the legal system, follow up on it. Go to the courts, because you learn something. You're always going to learn something. I certainly learned a few things. Now, let me go through them one by one. Well, first of all, the court system. I've gone on and on about the court system. We already know the court system is racist, because for every one white guy who goes to jail for drugs, 8 African Americans go to jail for drugs, even though drug use is the same amongst all races, pretty much the same. Definitely they're racist. But this would be a chance for me to go in firsthand to see what's what. So I didn't plead guilty. I didn't plead not guilty. I don't plead. I don't like to do that because the minute you sign your name to something, you're committing yourself to something. So I just sent the thing back, and if it could come the day, I'll worry about it then. So I did. I showed up, and I got there early. I always like to get there early because that way you can see the lay of the land, find out what's what. You're not rushed or anything like that. You can lean back. And I walked into the courtroom, and the courtroom is empty, except for me and the judge. And the judge is sitting behind his fence. Yeah, he's got a fence there, and then his big judge desk back there. And he's wearing his black girly robe and everything, which always strikes me as strange, but it's all right. It's tradition, right? Traditional garb. So I stand at the door. He says, "Come on in, sit down. You here for a trial?" I says, "Yep." He says, "Oh, what time?" I says, "Oh, it's supposed to go off at 2:45. He says, "Oh, you're early." I says, "Yeah, I want to see what's what." And he's sitting there, and he's looking around. And he said, "Well, what's your name?" I said, "Oh, my name's Ken." And we're out chatting for a while. Turns out he's a real nice guy, too. And not only is he a nice guy, friendly, talking, we were chatting back and forth. He told me about one of the things that he was doing at a local high school when the students get in trouble, legal trouble. What he does is he just sits in the back and has the principal talk to the kid about what's going on, and they have kids acting as jurors, high school kids. So they actually listen to the whole thing, do the whole back and forth and everything, hear the testimony, and the jury decides yes or no, is the guy guilty. And the justice there, he says that he can then say whether or not he backs up the jury. Now, if the kid's a real troublemaker or something like that, or it's a real serious situation, yeah, he's going to pass them on to the court system. But other than that, he says he likes to find them not guilty because that way he doesn't want to ruin a kid's life. Now, I heard that. That's music to my libertarian heart. You know, because so many kids get their lives ruined because they get caught smoking pot or whatever it may be. Victimless crimes, things that really don't matter. Ruins their chances of getting a scholarship. I mean, it's just crazy. But as I said, he was a nice guy. But I guess along about 2:30, things started rolling. Other people started coming in. The cops start coming in. Oh, and he says, man, I forgot one important point. He says, "Did you talk to the officer?" I says, "Yeah, I talked to him on the day he gave me the citation." He says, No, right now." I said, "No, why?" He says, "You got to talk to the cop." I guess, I don't know. So I'm just sitting there anyway. The first one comes in, and most of the cases were traffic cases. And most of them, I didn't know what was going on. The judge would just get up there and say, "Well, you're charged with any given number. Section 1, 2, 3, 4. And how do you plead? Not guilty." The judge says, "Oh, I would guess it's okay. Yeah, not guilty." Other people come up and just show them a piece of paper, maybe a license or insurance card, and they'd be out the door. And they'd say, "Merry Christmas" to each one. "Have a Merry Christmas." Not guilty. "Merry Christmas." Until one guy came in, and he said, "Sit at the tables there." And this guy starts talking about, he did an illegal left turn. And I know the spot where he did it too. And the judge, suddenly he changes. He's now a stern guy. He's asking questions like, "Didn't you know there's no left turn there? Didn't you know this?" And the guy says, "Well, you know, I'm a safe driver." And the cop says, "Your Honor, he's got 48 violations in the last 10 years. And the judge is like back and forth. And the guy says, "Yeah, Your Honor, really, I'm a good driver." And the judge says, "No, you're guilty. Poof, get out of here." Meanwhile, the cop comes in. He's, Kenneth? And I say, "Oh, sorry. Only my mother calls me Kenneth." He says, "Okay, Kenny?" I said, "Never mind. Sure." He said, "I'd like to talk to you." Now, this is what the judge warned me about, that I talked to the cop. Cop takes me into a private room. And he's, like I said, he was a nice guy, sort of friendly guy. He says, "You know, I looked up your driving record. The driving record is impeccable." I says, "Well, yeah, it's because I stop at all the stop signs." And he laughed. He says, "And because of that, what I'd like to do is I would like to change the citation. Instead of being charged with running a stop sign," and that's what it is, running a stop sign. I'll talk about that more in a minute. "Instead of running a stop sign, I want to change it to, you didn't produce your driver's license for me. Difference is that's not a point offense, and it's only $25. It's a lot cheaper." You want to do that? I said, well, wait a minute. Can I ask you a couple of questions? He said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I said, well, first of all, how do you define stop? He goes, oh, all the wheels got to stop, and there's got to be a little rocking of the suspension. I said, well, didn't you see that I was sitting there waiting for traffic? He said, oh, that's not really the way I saw it. And I said, isn't this something like selective enforcement? Because I said, how many people stop at a stop sign? He says, oh, maybe about 20%. I laughed and said, what planet are you living on? 20% of the people? You know, what's that, 1 out of 5? I don't think so. I did a Toastmaster speech. It's out on my YouTube channel. It's all about traffic laws, about speed limits, about stop signs. And I did some research for that. And my research found it's about 1 out of 100, maybe a little bit worse than that, or better than that, depending on how you look at it. So when the cop says 20% of the people stop at stop signs, I said, what planet are you living on? And he says, well, you know. I said, do you always stop for stop signs? He says, well, there's sometimes I forget. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so here. He says, well, so what do you want to take the deal here? You want to take the deal? I said, well, let's back up here. Isn't there something else besides? Because this is a 3-point offense for having stopped a stop sign where he thought I didn't. Maybe the suspension didn't rock enough for him. I don't know. I said, just a 3-point thing. Is this the same as somebody just like blows through a stop sign? He says, yeah, it's the same offense. I said, why would you get 3 points for slowing down and safely going through an intersection? He said, well, that's what the law is, and I'm here to enforce the law. So there's a problem with the law. The fact that they can take something as innocent as what virtually everybody does, rolling a stop sign, and they make it into a huge 3-point offense. You get 2 of those, what, you're in driving school then? I don't know what the point limit is. I got this good driving record, right? What do I know about it? It's like asking me what that adulterant is they put in heroin. I'm a drug addict. I don't know these things. But he said, no, that's what it is. And I said, well, could you just give a warning or something? You know, since you know it was a nice thing. He says, oh, no, I don't believe in warnings. And this is something I learned. He says, warnings aren't in the computer. He says, I can't call up warnings. He says, I can call up past infractions. I can find out on the spot. He says, but I had the wrong car that day, so I didn't have the right computer. I couldn't tell you if you were a good driver or a bad driver. He says, but I don't believe in warnings anyway. He says, New Jersey does. In fact, if you got caught in New Jersey, because this is right on the Delaware River, right where this infraction happened, right next to the Scudder's Falls Bridge. He says, if this happened in New Jersey, they would treat this, the warning, they would treat it as if you were convicted. So, wow. I always called New Jersey the police state. I wasn't going to tell the officer that. Because I saw a chance here to get out of 3 points on my driving record. 3 unjustified points on my driving record. So I asked him a lot of questions about the law. He was, like I said, he was very forthcoming, very friendly and everything like that. And in the end, I said, and what if I refuse? He says, well, we'll just go through with it like this. And he says, odds are you're going to be found guilty. And I thought so too, because I read up on the law. And there's a couple things you could do to justify not guilty plea for a stop sign, and none of them applied in my case. I mean, I stopped. It'd be my word against the judges, against the cops. And that's something, is that if it's me versus the cop wins. Where did the equality come from? I mean, he said, she said, all of a sudden his word is better than mine? There's another problem with these courts. Clubby is the word I used last week. These courts are far, far, far too clubby. But clubby it was, so I says, all right, let's do it. Let's go in there. So we go in, talk to the judge. The judge says, well, did you talk to the guy? He says, yeah, talk to the guy. And the guy says, yeah, Your Honor, he's going to take a 1511, not presenting a driver's license. Now that's interesting because I'm looking forward to being in a position where I don't give a driver's license. Because what I'd like to do instead is say, if I had such thing, when he said driver's license and earnings card, I would say, if I had such things, could you use them against me? Well, the answer is yes. And, well, doesn't the Fifth Amendment stop me from self-incrimination? Sometime I'll have to do that. That morning was not the day to do it. But, anyway, Cop says, yes, Your Honor, we're going to do a 1511. Didn't produce a driver's license. And the judge says, okay, that's fine. So that was it. Bang the gavel. He says, you're going to get, it's going to be a cheaper one. Have a Merry Christmas. So I'm out the door. Now, I didn't know what 1511 was. I didn't know if the number was correct. They never say what it was. With each of those people in there, they never said what the crime was. Only in the left turn guy who they sat him down at the table. Everybody else, we just didn't know what it was. So the courts are kind of incomprehensible. And it's no fun. There was one guy, he's standing up in front of the judge. And the judge asks him a question, and the guy's like stuttering. The judge says, what's the matter? The guy says, oh, I'm really nervous. And the judge says, what are you nervous for? Right then and there, that judge went from me thinking he's a nice guy to thinking, what kind of stunt is he pulling? Right? Most people are terrified to walk into court. The only reason I have a little bit more courage is because I've been a Toastmaster for a while. But anyway, I was not pleased with the guy because he was very condescending and very off topic. In any case, 1511, I trusted him, thought I knew what it was. I get back, I Google 1511. Turns out it's right. It's not carrying a driver's license. But there's a 1511B, which says that if you show up at the court there and produce a valid driver's license within 15 days of the citation being written, you get off. So I thought, hey, let me try this. So today, I stopped off on my way home from work. I stopped off at the court. It's pretty deserted because they're not doing things today. Go up to the window, the lady comes up, I says, yep, I'm here. Citation was written on Monday because I wrote up a citation saying that I didn't have my driver's license. And I said, and I have my driver's license, so I want to get the charges erased. She says, okay, what's your name? I hand her my driver's license. She comes back, she says, you can't do this. All of a sudden, she's like rude, and I mean R-U-D-E, capital R, rude. What are you trying to pull here? I said, I had a copy of the statute. I said, the statute, and she interrupted me. I know what the statute says. Well, of course, if you know what the statute says, then here it is, 15 days, if it's within 15 days. Interrupts me again. Now, if you want this, you got to appeal. I says, yeah, but it says, and she keeps interrupting me. And over and over, and she turns around and walks away. Rude. Why? Why are our civil servants rude? Over and over again. I ran into this rude Joanne jury commissioner in Montgomery County, rude on the phone to me, interrupting me. Then I run into, I don't know what this lady's name is. She seemed like she was some kind of a honcho there because, I just, never mind, I'll just leave it at that. She's some kind of honcho there. And she was just rude to me as well. Civil servants should be civil. So anyway, I'm stuck with a $25 fine. Whoop-de-doo. Because the officer thought something. But I learned a couple things. I learned that the court system is pretty messed up. I learned that civil servants don't have to be civil. I learned that New Jersey treats warnings, Pennsylvania warnings, as if they were convictions. And I learned that the warnings are not in an officer's computer. So if you received a warning, and a warning, and a warning, and a warning, according to the officer, they don't know that. So there's a little piece of information for you, something I didn't know before. So I stayed around the court, watched a bunch of other trials, all the same. When I'm governor, I'm going to try and do some things about how this is done. I'm going to try and pass a law that says civil servants have to be civil, that they have to treat you as if the same way that they would treat their father or their mother. Not like you're some kind of criminal, not like you're some kind of person trying to get out of some scam. They're bureaucrats. Yep. Frank, you got it right. They're just bureaucrats. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work to change the law so that you're not going to get a 3-point blowing a stop sign ticket for doing what 99, 44, 100% of the people are doing, which is rolling stop signs. In fact, there's a lot more that I would like to do when it comes to those stop signs. What I would like to do, I would like to replace them with yield signs. Right? What do we do when we come to a stop sign? We slow down, we look both ways. If there's no pedestrian, no traffic, we roll it. That's what a yield sign is. That's what we do at stop signs. Let's get rid of those stop signs. Let's replace them instead with yield signs, because that's what we're doing. We should align the law with everybody's behavior. Because you know what that court was? It was a funding mill. Because each one of those people came in, they're paying court costs, and they don't get it all back. They take time off from work, so it's lost productivity. They lose vacation time. All these things. Why? Just because there's this law, this bad law, which is making people come in, funding their gains, making the cop seem like the good guy. Ken, I'm going to let you off. I'm going to get you a $25 fine instead of this, I forget what it was, $100 and some odd rolling the stop sign ticket. Let's change the law. And I'm going to work to do that. I'm going to work to at least split that stop sign law. So if you blow it, all right, fine, 3 points, you would deserve that. But if you just do what all of us do and roll those stop signs, I'll give you a warning. One of those things that, not even that, shouldn't even get that. Let's change them all those stop signs to yield signs. Let's get the cops off our backs. They're enforcing the law. They're doing their job. I went to the Abington Citizens Police Academy. I'm a graduate of that. Cops are good guys, but they're enforcing the law. What we should do is we should make sure that the law they enforce matches what we want. So I'm going to do that, not only for stop signs, but all the other laws that are out there. There's little traffic laws that cops like to bother us with. And I have a lot more to say about the police. And I'm not going to be doing that this year. I guess probably around March, I will be coming out with my approach to how we can defuse a lot of the controversy surrounding police. Because they just keep coming out. Right? There's another video that just came out a couple days ago about a cop who shot a guy sitting in a car when he's saying, "Don't shoot me, don't shoot me." Something's got to be done. And you know what you got to do? You've got to start voting Libertarian. Because nobody else is going to take care of you. Nobody else is going to take care of these problems. Nobody is going to work to change the law to make it match what our normal behavior is. So do me a favor. Stop by my website, kenk4pa.com. Register for updates. Keep track of what's going on with the campaign. If you can, please donate. There's a donate button, and the best one is the recurring donation, because that way we can plan ahead. We're going to be using funds to pay signature gatherers to help get us on the ballot. I'm going to need 5,000 signatures. And we're using that. So if you do donate, the best thing you can do is to do a recurring donation, because that way we can plan better. $1 a month, $10 a month, $1,000 a month. How do I do that within my job description? Well, 2 ways I can do it. First of all traffic violations are adjudicated under criminal code. That means I can pardon you. I can commute sentences, everything like that. So I can do that within my job description. Where is it? Yeah, I got it right here. Last week I didn't have it handy. Pennsylvania Constitution gives the governor the right to get rid of sentences, pardon people, and I'll be doing that for all these situations with a person just like rolling a stop sign. But in order for me to get into office, I need your help. As I said, I need the donations. Check the recurring donation box. $1 a month, $10 a month, $20,000 a month, whatever you can do. That way we can plan, we can get it all set up in advance.
Holiday parties.
I'm sorry?
Holiday parties.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. I got my teleprompter over there. He's teleprompting me. Sign up as a volunteer. One of the big things we need are volunteers, because I can't do this alone. Need all the help. Go to the website, kenk4pa.com. And as I was just being reminded, this Saturday, well, last Saturday we had the Montgomery County Holiday Party. This Saturday is Philadelphia County Libertarians Holiday Party. It's a gunner's run, 1001 North 2nd Street in the Northern Liberty section of Philadelphia. And last week I kept saying 1002. I don't know, I I didn't have it in front of me. What do I know? I was on business travel. You know how things are. 1001 North 2nd Street, Gunner's Run. It starts at 7 o'clock. I'll be there. Dale Kearns will be there. He's one of the guys seeking the Libertarian nomination for U.S. Senate. Plus, there's all the Philly people there. Always a good bunch of people. I like hanging out with the Philly Libertarians. So come on out. Meet me there. We sit down, have a few adult beverages. I can talk about some stuff, give you a little more clues about what I'm going to be doing with the cops come March. And that's another thing. Join the Libertarian Party. You don't necessarily register as a Libertarian, although I wish you would. But that way you become a delegate to our state convention, which is going to be held the first weekend in March. And it's going to be held in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, other side of Harrisburg. Beautiful country. The Appalachian Trail is just this side of Shippensburg. In fact, Shippensburg Road goes over the mountain where the Appalachian Trail crosses. Really nice area. Anyway, first weekend of March, sign up, become a member of the Libertarian Party. It's expensive. I hear it's $15.
Oh, 20.
20. It went up to $20. Good grief. And that way, you could be a delegate at the convention, and you could either vote for me or vote against me, whatever you may think is best. And what else is on the agenda? I guess not much more. I'm thinking that the Wednesday between the holidays, between Christmas and New Year's, I think I'm going to skip that one because I'm going to be traveling with the wife, visiting the in-laws up in central New York, visiting our daughter who's up in Syracuse, and different things like that. So I think that the last Wednesday of the month I'm not going to be there. But next Wednesday, I should still be here. So in the meantime, as I said, kenk4pa.com, sign up, donate, become a volunteer, go to lppa.org, register, become an actual card-carrying party member, so you'll be able to come to the convention and vote for me or vote against me. In the meantime, always keep in mind, I'd like to ask if you would vote for me, Ken Krawchuk, Libertarian for Pennsylvania Governor. Because if you keep on voting the way you've been voting, you're going to keep on getting just what you've been getting. And I don't know about you, but I have had enough. See you next Wednesday. Take care, everybody.